We got unleaded petrol in the year 2000. Thanks to Dr. Abraham George, Admiral Dawson for steering this one of the mega projects in the country to measure the lead level in the blood of people. Majority of them were children. Lead is number one environmental toxin. I would say lead is number one environmental poison because lead has no biological function. It interferes with other elements which has biological function, especially calcium. One lead can replace 1000 calcium. Calcium is required for neurotransmission. When calcium is taken up by neuron, then it triggers the release of neurotransmitters, then communication is established. Lead prevents this. Lead becomes the neurotoxin or pollutant. You see, lead, I told you, has no biological function. If you don't have any purpose when you are traveling, you keep on traveling, nothing will stop you. Lead has no biological function, therefore it goes through the mother's blood to the cord, to the placenta, and it goes into the baby's brain. There is no blood-brain barrier. Therefore, there is no placental barrier, there is no blood-brain barrier when the child is still in the womb because lead has no biological function. But it interferes with the biological functions of other essential micronutrients like calcium, iron, zinc. I always ask one question: do you have any lead in your blood? People say, I don't know. But when we measure, they all have lead in the blood. But do they have any symptoms? No. That means no symptom is the symptom of lead poisoning. To start with, when symptoms appear, when nutritional deprivation is there, immune system is lower, then the body starts realizing certain symptoms. These are the symptoms of lead poisoning. What are they? Neurologically related symptoms. Second, muscular, again neurological, hematological related. Anemia, for example. Anemia can happen due to various malnutrition, but lead also causes anemia. If you have iron deficiency anemia, you can give iron, folic acid, correct it. But if it is lead caused anemia, any amount of iron and folic acid will not correct it. This is the no symptom in children is the symptom of lead poisoning. In small infants, children, when we observe, they have no focused attention. They divert, doing something here, stop, do something else. They don't have focused attention, number one. Then they will have hyperactivity. These are the two common symptoms of children and disturbed cognitive function as they start growing. What is that disturbed cognitive function? Pica, eating mud. Children, they eat where they want calcium. And this is because calcium deprivation which is caused by lead. A public health issue. Air is a common source. Water is a common source. Food is a common source. Medicines are common sources. I'll tell you, when we go out, we breathe air. If there is a lead-based industry somewhere around, then we get lead in the air. If the particle size of the lead is below 0.25 microns in diameter, then it becomes respirable particulate matter. Means we inhale that lead goes into the lungs, alveoli, and then goes into the blood, the lead from the air. Therefore, we cannot go around with that very high sensitive filter, mask, that's one thing. And lead in the air comes when the dust from the ground erupts. In summer particularly, because of heat, thermal variation, the fine dust, when the children play on a ordinary where there is no lawn, they get lot of dust, they inhale, that is air. Dust particles, vehicular exhaust and industrial gases which is not controlled are the major sources of air taking lead into our body. That's one source. Second, there is inorganic lead, like lead chromate. Lead chromate is used as a coloring agent. It's yellow in color. In place of turmeric, lead chromate is used. Lead chromate can get absorbed by the intestine because it is inorganic lead. Therefore, in people who use a lot of adulterated food, they may get lead salts, gets absorbed. Third important source is dermal. Skin is the main source. People who use cosmetics, most of the cosmetics have lead. Example, hair dye has lead. When people are dyeing, I ask them, are you dyeing or dyeing? This is the lead which is absorbed by the skin from the hair dye. Cosmetics, these are all cosmetics. Of course, there are certain medicines, traditional medicines containing lead. All over the world, not only in India. See, first we should know how early we can detect lead. Lead in blood is the true picture of the whole body lead. We don't have to do any other test. We take a prick, small prick, finger prick, that can be used within 3 minutes you get the blood lead level. This technology is available now. There are 48 centers in the country where we can measure the blood lead level. If the blood lead level is above certain limit, it should not be more than 3 micrograms per deciliter. But in our population, it's very difficult to reach that 3 microgram. Western countries have achieved already. Most of our people, children especially, have around 10 microgram per deciliter, which was accepted earlier, now it is not accepted. When it is around 20 microgram per deciliter, cognitive disturbances are there. Around 30-40 microgram, there will be hematological disturbances are there. When it's above 40-45 microgram per deciliter, which we have come across in number of cases, then the child will have lots of symptoms, including abdominal colic and pain and convulsions, particularly neurological problems, convulsions. These are all the early symptoms of lead toxicity where the blood lead level is at different level. Treatment, very, very expensive. For example, children, if they have blood lead level above 45 microgram per deciliter, they have to be treated on an emergency basis. Otherwise, they may go into some serious problem, may lead to death. At even 65 microgram, a child died because of convulsion. At the level of 80-90, we can't say what will happen. I'm talking about children. We have to protect them. We have a medicine called DMSA, des-mercaptosuccinic acid. This is chelator. Chelator means it binds with lead. It is oral and it can be dissolved, it can be given along with juice or some sweetener. Children are treated with des-mercaptosuccinic acid. What it does, instead of binding with calcium, it binds with lead and removes lead through urine. Now, other treatment what we normally follow here is treating the child with EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate. That is another chemical. Of course, we have DMPF, and many other chemicals are, they are called chelators. Now, the problem is one can bring down the blood lead level, but lead goes and gets accumulated in the bone. It takes 30-40 years to remove 50% of the bone from the lead. That's called half-life of lead in the bone. Children, if they are exposed, it goes into the bone, and whenever the blood lead level comes down, because of chelation, bone will start releasing lead. Again it shoots up. Again we have to remove. Again it shoots up. Again we have to remove. This is the problem we are facing. Children is much more easier to treat because the damage in children is irreversible due to lead. Whereas adults, their developmental phase would have been over. We can remove lead by using some of these chelators. When we talk about cognitive difficulties in children, one is child will be very slow in learning. Slow learning. Now, compared to normal child, a normal child can learn some of these games so fast, but that lead toxic child will never be able to learn so fast. It will take 4 times, 5 times the time. That is one, is learning. Second is speaking with clarity. A child will not have clarity to speak. It will be disturbed. Third is child will not be able to walk in one direction. If you say go and bring, it will go this way, that way, zigzag. That's another symptom. The third one is to adapt to social situations. Child will be irritable. There are children without any cognitive impairment, though they have lead. There are children who have small cognitive impairment, reading, writing disability. Handwriting will be very difficult to even it's not clean. Or medium cognitive inability means more pronounced. Finally, if lead level is for longer period in a child, it may lead to dementia, memory loss. These are all neurological or cognitive deficiencies. See, there is no medicine on this earth for any disorder which we can claim has no side effects, but degree of side effect. Suppose I take this medicine for getting my lead out of my body, but if it causes diarrhea or headache, I would rather tolerate the diarrhea headache because my primary goal is to get rid of lead. Now, for example, any treatment for lead poisoning with any medication, yes, they have side effects. What is that side effect? Lead is a divalent metal, like calcium, magnesium, zinc. Some of these chemicals which are used, medicines which are given, they not only remove lead, they remove calcium, magnesium, zinc. It brings about some depletion of essential micronutrients. That is the side effect. That can be managed.